Right. Now, after the discovery and properties of discovery of cathode rays by Julius, we're going to learn about the properties of cathode rays. So this is very important. They may ask you in one mark question. So now I've got a concept. What is the concept? Cathode rays are the rays which travel from cathode to anode, and they are negatively charged. So based on those observations, we'll study with the first property of cathode, that is about the path. How do the cathode rays travel? So for that, they've done a small experiment for knowing the path, whether it travels in a straight line or whether it takes curve, whether it reflects, whether does it refract or something like that. So when they have taken a small padlock or a small material in that, some type of material, right? Now we said the rays are going to travel from cathode to anode. What do they observe is, when the ray was traveling from cathode to anode and they were stuck this material, whatever material, just in the form of a shape we have drawn here. So when they stuck that material, a shadow was formed at the end of that particular discharge tube. What does that mean? When do you get shadow when you go out? Exactly the straight shadow, exactly at 12 noon, isn't it? When the sun is hot on you, when directly the sun falls on your head, isn't it? In the same way, here they have observed that when the cathode ray, there was observed a shadow at the end, because once the cathode ray went, stuck the material and it has shown a shadow. That means cathode rays always travel in straight lines. Look here, straight lines. So let us write the first term. The path is cathode rays travel in straight lines because of the formation of shadow. Done. Straight lines. Done. After this, penetration. So when I have to speak, we have already seen, we have taken different types of gases in the discharge tube. These cathode rays have ionized and gradually they penetrated through the gas and they have shown the sparks, isn't it? That fluorescence or incandescence in that particular discharge tube. So what do they do? Yes, we can write cathode rays. I'm writing cathode rays as CR. Yes. So cathode rays do penetrate in tin metal foils also. So cathode rays penetrate through metal foils. This is also over. Fine. After that, next property, effect of electrical field. So when I have to show the effect of electrical field, again a small diagram for that. Here what do? They've taken the discharge tube, glass discharge tube. One side they've taken as a cathode, the other side they've taken as an anode. But one important thing, here they've connected to an external circuit. Two plates. One is a positive electrode, one is a negative. So two plates are connected above and below. Now what was observed that when the cathode ray was passed, means the discharge tube, when the certain amount of voltage was created in the low pressure, that cathode ray started traveling from cathode and it was observed that that ray started bending towards the positive electrode. Once again, the ray started bending towards the positive electrode. When something bends to the positive electrode, what does it mean? It has certain amount of negative particles in that. Obviously, isn't it? Positive and negative. So that this proves that the cathode ray has negatively charged particles. So in the effect of electrical field, what should you write? Cathode rays bends towards negative negative potential or negative electrode. Let us write negative plate. Okay, negative plate or negative electrode. Fine. So what does it prove? It proves it has electrons present in them. So ionizing capacity, as we have seen, yes, cathode ray, they ionize gases, isn't it? Because of that ionization of gases only, I could see that greenish faint incandescence inside the discharge tube. I told you, isn't it? When the atmosphere pressure was reduced to 10⁻², the whole discharge tube had a greenish faint greenish color incandescence of the light inside the discharge tube. So what should you write? Cathode rays ionize gases. So cathode rays ionizes gases. Done. Let us come back to components. Components means, so what happened here when basically when we see, already we have assumed like cathode has particles has moved, it has shown a shadow or it has moved towards a positive electrode. But now to have a clarity whether the cathode ray really has particles or not, suppose if you are placing some paddle in between. Paddle means a wheel type inside the discharge tube. What will happen, because of the travel, or because of the components from cathode to anode, these electrons are traveling, isn't it? This paddle starts rotating. Paddle means you already know, I think. So this paddle starts moving. This proves that cathode rays contain components, or they contain particles, which are what? They are negatively charged because they are attracted towards anode. So let us write, yes, cathode rays consists of particles. How did I say? Because it has rotated the paddle which I have taken inside the discharge tube. Let us come back and see some more properties of cathode rays. Right, now let's come back and see the next property of cathode rays. So we have seen its electric effect on the electrical field. We have seen its penetrating power. We have seen its ionizing nature. So let's see. In heating effect, what basically is heating effect? Suppose if you are taking a cathode ray and you are allowing it to heat a material, right? What does cathode ray contain? It contains fast moving electrons, isn't it? So what do they have? They have a lot of kinetic energy present inside them. So when this electron or this fast moving cathode ray hits an object, what is it doing? It's, as I said just now, it's having high kinetic energy, and now it starts, once it hits that particular material, it starts heating up of that particular material because of its high kinetic energy. So what should I write? Heating effect of cathode rays. We can easily say that when cathode ray, right, let us write, cathode ray contains fast moving electrons with high kinetic energy. Okay, so when it hits the particular material, what does it do? It starts heating up the material. So it shows heating effect. Right, so cathode ray contains fast moving electrons with high kinetic energy. When hit or when stuck on a material, it shows heating effect. It shows heating effect, or it starts heating up that material because it's moving with fast kinetic energy, isn't it? Yes. So let's see the effect of magnetic field. It's the same, almost the same like the electrical field. So they've taken the discharge tube. Here they've connected a magnetic field in a perpendicular direction to this particular path. So when they've connected perpendicular, this particular perpendicular to this path, what was observed? This ray started moving from cathode towards anode, and it has deflected in a direction, means whichever you're taking, north pole or south pole, that particular, it has deflected in a direction which is expected as for an electron. So basically we know in an electric field, what did it do? It has got deflected towards the positive electrical plate. It shows it as negative. Here also it's going to deflect in a direction which is expected in the magnetic field. Whichever path you're placing, in that direction it's going to deflect and see. Now, so what should you write? It deflects in the direction expected by an electron, means whichever path it chooses. Next, production of X-rays. Okay, very nice. So here in production X-rays, what actually it does do? Now I'm going to take a material like tungsten. Okay, I'm going to take a material like molybdenum. What do they do? Here they're going to first take in glass discharge tube. After that, we very well know that when it is maintained at low pressure and certain amount of gas is taken and it is connected to high voltage. Now what should you remember? During for the production of X-rays, first they're going to take a discharge tube. Here they're going to fill it with low pressure. Then after this, when the ray starts passing from the cathode towards the anode, they're going to place a material which is made up of either tungsten or molybdenum. So what is going to happen? This cathode ray started moving from the cathode, it has gone towards the anode, and it starts hitting that material which you have taken, tungsten or molybdenum. Then what happens? These fast moving electrons, they are absorbed by this material. Once it is absorbed, what will happen? Tungsten also has electrons, molybdenum also has electrons. Then the electron which is present in tungsten, let us assume tungsten. Now this has passed, it has gone into tungsten material. Now this electron from the ground state, it goes to the excited state. Now once we very well know, it doesn't stay for long in the excited state, only for few seconds, isn't it? Now from the excited state, this electron starts jumping back to the ground state. Now during this process, it's going to emit high energy photons, that is nothing but your X-rays. So this is where is the concept. This starts emitting photons or X-rays. So what can I conclude? You need to conclude it is shown in materials like tungsten and molybdenum. Yes, cathode ray, they emit X-rays. I've already shown you the mechanism. How is it emitting? So just let us write this. Right, they emit X-rays in case of metals like tungsten, denoted by W, and molybdenum. This is your relation. So these are the different properties of cathode rays. Let's come back and learn the next concept, that is discovery of proton as well as discovery of neutron.